The cool part about IPv6 is that, well, it's already here. You can get on to the IPv6 internet and look around. There's IPv6 websites, all kinds of stuff out there. The challenge we have is that internet service providers in general do not provide IPv6 to their customers. So we can't do what we call native IPv6. However, you can get onto the IPv6 internet, but you have to do something, it's basically tunneling. Let me show you what I mean. So here's an IP packet. Now if you take a close look at this, you'll notice that we don't have IPv4 addresses, we have IPv6 addresses on there. So what I propose we do is we're going to encapsulate our IPv6 data inside of IPv4. And what that's going to allow us to do is take our data, put an IP address on it, and then send it to an endpoint. And when it gets to that endpoint, which is going to be some server up in the sky someplace, it'll strip this away and then leave us with just the IPv6 stuff. Tunneling basically means to do like a VPN between your system and some system that's connected to the IPv6 internet. Now, Microsoft in particular recognized that this was going to be a big problem and built in a lot of tunneling protocols into Windows. Let me show you what I mean with that. So here I am at a command prompt, and if I do an ipconfig, one of the things I want you to notice is all this stuff down here. Do you see these words tunnel adapter? These are built-in tools that Windows provides to give you a way to try to get to the IPv6 internet. Now, there's two in particular here that I want to talk about. There is Teredo and there is 6to4. Teredo is a very primitive, very slow, horrible way to connect to the IPv6 internet. The cool part to Teredo is that it's free. And you can go online, there's a bunch of websites that show you how to configure your Windows system to use Teredo to get onto IPv6 internet. The big one I want to talk about is right here, and that is 6to4. 6to4 is pretty much exactly as it's named. It takes IPv6 packets and encapsulates them into IPv4. Now, just because you have these tunneling adapter protocols that show up when you type ipconfig, most of us are going to use third-party tools. There's a number of them out there, but the one I like the best by far is called the GoGo client. It's completely free, anybody can do this, and all you need to do is to go to gogo6.com, download a copy, install it, and it pretty much works out of the box. I've got a copy of it right here. And this is what the GoGo6 client looks like. It's not too terribly exciting, and that's good. Pretty much just start it up, and it will find a GoGo server that will connect you to the IPv6 internet. So the fun part is now, once this is up and running, and there's almost nothing to do, you install it and hit go, you are on the IPv6 internet. Now, what makes this kind of cool is because this is a tunneling protocol, it does exactly as you'd expect, like a VPN. It creates a virtualized network card. And this network card right here, I don't know if you can read that, it says GoGo6 Virtual Multi-Tunnel Adapter. So when you install the software, it makes this virtualized NIC, and it uses your IPv4 connection to get to an IPv6 box. So if we take a look in here, I'm going to type ipconfig one more time. Now, what I want you to show you, that it said local area connection 2, and there it is. So this is local area connection 2, and you'll see that I have a public internet IPv6 address. So if I'm on the IPv6 internet, then I should be able to do stuff like this. So here's a particular website called test-ipv6.com. There's a lot of these out here, but this is one of them. And basically it says, yes, you are running IPv6, we can see you, everything's great. Let's go someplace that is IPv6 only. So you can see I've gone to ipv6.google.com, and what do you got? Well, you got Google. The challenge with IPv6 is that once you get on to IPv6, you think something new and different is going to happen. Well, it doesn't. IPv6 is just a new numbering system. When IPv6 is running right, when you go to Google, guess what you get? Google. And when you go to Amazon.com, you can buy a book. And when you go to eBay, you can buy used computers or whatever you buy. The most important thing to appreciate about IPv6 is it doesn't change the internet. Now, granted, there are websites, for example, that are only IPv6. You simply can't get to them any other way, but they're weird and boring and nerdy. The really great power of IPv6 is that when it's fully installed and up and running and perfect, from an application standpoint, you're still just on the internet.